There's ideas, we need more ideas, we need to cull the ideas, we need to give them some priority, we need to understand how hard it will be to actually follow up on them, but we can't stop. We can only stop this conversation right now in order to note that we've been tapping into a lot of experience that's in a world that's changing. And among the folks that have a lot of that experience, Accenture's worked on a lot of these kind of problems. Dave gave us an introduction, and I know, Jerry, you've been in this world before in the government side and now with Accenture. Would you give us some thoughts about these 2 days as you see us here at the end?
You know, for me as a kid growing up in Pittsburgh, it's just almost unbelievable that I could be at Harvard actually talking to people. And thanks to my friend Daniel Stein, I was at Yale a little earlier in the year. So the guys in my neighborhood would just never believe that this happened. And I really want to thank, as everybody does, I mean, the fact that you folks who run mega agencies and multi-billion-dollar operations gave up an entire weekend, a beautiful fall weekend, to be here. It speaks volumes. My job is to try to synthesize the discussions over the past 2 days among some of the world's best thinkers on one of the world's most difficult topics, to do that within a couple of minutes, knowing that I am probably one of the last things between you and freedom, and maybe a football game, and to do that with a sense of purpose and perhaps a call to action. And I can tell you that it's a daunting task. And Ann Sapp said to me, "What are you going to say?" Well, Ann, I'm going to figure it out as I'm up here to this group. I think that we can approach this with the knowledge that great work is already being done. We kept hearing that being reinforced, that there's a strong commitment among the nation's human services leaders to embrace integration or coordination. And we also have technology and assets to support us that perhaps we didn't have before. We've spent decades focusing in on the challenges of services integration, and I can tell you at this stage of my career, I think I am more optimistic than ever that we can really continue to make progress in great strides. Our hope as we were planning this was that there would be some practical tools that you'd be able to take back to put into your toolkit. I think we have heard from people all over the country from many different disciplines. I know that if I was back in Olympia, Washington or Austin, Texas, that I would be calling my staff in on Monday saying, I heard all this great stuff, what are we going to work on? And so I think we've been successful to that extent. Our secondary hope was that this would be really a process and not perceived as an event. And from what I just heard from the conversation that Jerry just led, I think that that's going to happen. There's a lot of energy for where do we go next. So when we start thinking about, you know, what are some of the themes that we learned over the last couple of days, for me it's kind of simple. Simple kid from Pittsburgh, maybe I tend to oversimplify this, but it was people, it was process, it was technology and communication, and I think I would add one more, and that's passion. Emerson once said that nothing great was ever achieved without enthusiasm. And if there's one thing that I can tell you, because I've sat through these kind of things many, many times, I saw more energy and more passion over the last 2 days for this topic than I have ever seen before. I think in many ways it's also, when we look at the elements, leadership for me is right up there. It's Mayor Bloomberg who pulled everybody together and said, I have an idea, I have a vision, I'm willing to take the risks, I'm willing to push the envelope. And the end result for that was just an amazing project where 36 programs and 15 agencies are now sharing data and providing a single access point for people in New York who need services. It's how BJ exercised her executive commitment in the Georgia Shines project. We learned that it doesn't have to take a lot of money. You know, I was so impressed with what Mark Cherna did in Pittsburgh, where he and 2 other department heads got together, no money, no mandate, just a good idea, generating that good idea into something that turned into an award-winning collaborative that returns $6 for every one that's spent. We learned about also the community partnerships. Again, these resources are out here. It's kind of harnessing and mobilizing them. We learned from Jenna Lodge how she took her relationship with the economic development people and used human services to be an economic driver in her state, in a rural, depressed area. We heard from Ruth Johnson, and I just loved her presentation. And and Bill, your comments about it's not only transformation, but in some cases it's revolution. And one of the reasons that it resonated with me is that I've actually been in some of those offices in New Orleans and Baton Rouge and seen the long lines. So Ruth, that was just terrific and stunning. It's also technology, and this is something I'm really learning a lot about kind of in my new job, but we've learned a lot. We learned from Robert Doar how New York City used technology really is the way to kind of bridge that gap that has always been such a huge obstacle for services integration for us, the data sharing, kind of the traffic cop. We learned about Howard Hendricks' vision for Mosaic, and not only that, but how he kind of waded through the bureaucracy to develop a cost allocation strategy that I think is going to serve every enterprise effort in this country. It's really a monumental task that he did. And how he used data to focus in on early childhood intervention and education. And the use of data, I think, is always important to the work that we do. We learned from Greg Wass about the START project, which I think is one of the most exciting interstate efforts that I've been aware of. And it's groundbreaking, it's collaborative, and we really look forward to seeing how that progresses. And in some cases, it's challenging our own business models, our practices, breaking down barriers and analyzing our core functions. It's Troy Hudson in Washington State who began to start looking at things and saying, you know what, I don't need to make appointments for people coming into my office. There's a lot of downtime. I can take that downtime, turn it into efficiency, serve people better and more quickly. And they're now serving, same day, 80% of the people who walk into Washington State for benefits. It's just a phenomenal story, but all it took was kind of brain power, vision, and guts to break down some of those traditional old policies. You know, it's thinking outside of the box, and I always, when I think about thinking outside of my box, I think of my friend Ramona Foley in Oregon, who one time I was giving a speech and saying we had to think outside of the box, and Ramona came to me afterwards and she said, Jerry, I just want to remind you of one thing. The state mental hospitals and prisons are full of people who think outside of the box, so you have to be a little careful. I did want to iterate that I heard this conversation as we were going. These tools that we talked about will be available. They will be posted. We'll be following up. I know that APHSA is committed, I think, in every venue. Daniel, the work that you're doing, the partnerships, we want to continue with that. I think the key challenge, and some of the things we were trying to get at, is how to take this and bring it to scale. How to take a collection of very good projects and turn it into a system or a movement. And I'm reminded of a quote from Edna St. Vincent Millay, who said that upon this gifted age in its dark hour, falls from the sky a medieval...
Welcome, I'm Hassan Rashid, and I welcome you to another edition of your Human Service News and Information at CCTV. Be live. I'll be with you for approximately 25 more minutes, so it's always excellent being here with you, and it's awful great achievement to come into your lives like we do here weekly at CCTV. Okay, the opening video was provided by Harvard University, and it was the recent 2004 Human Service Summit that was held on the weekend of October 24th and 26th, entitled The Dynamics of Conversion. That's putting it all together, okay? But we're going to get back to that video and some information about which pertains to the summary of that whole weekend of events, okay? So once again, I'm Hassan Rashid, and this is your Human Service News and Information, and it's an awful great achievement once again to come into your lives like we do here at CCTV. Okay, it's November, and you know what November means. November means that it is the National Native American Heritage Month, so we're going to be talking a little bit about that later on in the program, okay? But right now we're going to just briefly give you some updates on what's happening here at CCTV. Okay, so on Friday, November 14th, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m., there is the Are You 50 or Over event. So Google is coming back at here at Cambridge Community Television to host a one-session internet workshop. So that's November 14th, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. We're at 438 Massachusetts Avenue, and it's for those of you who are 50 and over. If you need information on proving your ability to access the internet and all of the opportunities that lie within the web, well, this course is for you. That's Friday, November 14th, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. And you have to be 50 or over. So if you'd like additional information, you can contact Clodagh Drummy. That's at 617-401-4005. That's Clodagh Drummy, 617-401-400. Okay, so tomorrow, that's Thursday, November 13th, there's the CCTV, Cambridge Community Television. Cordially invites you to come out to our member recognition and appreciation party. That's tomorrow, November 13th, 6:30, 8:30 p.m. And I think that's going to be at the Middle East Club. I'm not for sure, but you'll still have time to make reservations for this event. So you can call Frank right now. That's Frank at cctvcambridge.org, 617-401-400. That's the CCTV member recognition and appreciation party, and that's happening tomorrow. So if you like additional information, you'd like to register for that, you can contact Frank at cctvcambridge.org. Once again, that's Frank at cctvcambridge.org, 617-401-4007. Okay, I have a media alert. It's a homeless rally's coming up in Boston. Okay, this big homeless rally is coming up. You've heard about all the hundreds of people that were turned out of a Long Island shelter. Well, I imagine this big rally has something to do with that. Okay, so who? Okay, here's the information. Who? Formerly homeless Long Island refugees and their supporters. Where? Blackstone Community Center, 550 West Brookline Street, South End. And that's today. That's today at 5 p.m. So you still got time to make that homeless rally at Blackstone Community Center, 550 West Brookline Street, South End, in Boston. That's today, November 12th at 5 p.m. Rally and speak out to release homeless Bill of Rights and demand city-state action. The city of Boston needs to hear and address the concern of the homeless to provide adequate, safe, and sustainable responses to their particular needs, according to a Boston Homeless Solidarity Committee. That's the City Office of Neighborhood Services holding a meeting at 5:30 p.m. at Blackstone Community Center to discuss emergency responses and the effects of the Long Island shutdown. Okay. Since we're getting pretty close to Thanksgiving, I'm going to skip some of the news and tell you where you can go on Thanksgiving Day. Well, not Thanksgiving Day, but where you can go to if you're interested in being with good friends and fellowship, camaraderie, and enjoy a good turkey dinner on Thanksgiving. Okay, not Thanksgiving, but this is a Thanksgiving dinner being offered at 7 Temple Street, Cambridge, Massachusetts 02138. And that's Tuesday, November 18th, next week, okay? 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. So for more information, you could call 617-491-6050 or visit the web at the ywcacambridge.org. So this is the annual YWCA Thanksgiving dinner, and they're holding this in cooperations with partnership with the YMCA. So they're located at 7 Temple Street. That's November 18, 2014. And for more information, you can call 617-491-6050. So get on over there on the 18th and enjoy a good Thanksgiving dinner and a lot of good people. Okay, the Cambridge Rotary Club is also sponsoring a Thanksgiving dinner. And this one is going to be the annual Thanksgiving dinner sponsored by the Rotary Club, Cambridge Rotary Club at the Cambridge Senior Center. That's the Cambridge Citywide Senior Center, 806 Massachusetts, Cambridge, Mass. 02139. And this will be happening on Tuesday, November 25th, 2014, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. For more information, contact Jim Burrows, Cambridge Rotary, 617-354-8999, or visit the web at geo.burrows@verizon.com, so you don't have to spend Thanksgiving alone. You can go out and enjoy some good camaraderie, friendship, and fellowship, etc., etc., and a decent meal, okay? So if you're cooking on Thanksgiving, just an opportunity to visit Cambridge Farmers Markets. The Cambridge Farmers Market at Harvard Square is still open, and they'll be open every Sunday till November 23rd from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. That's the Cambridge Square Farmers Market, the Charles Hotel Courtyard. Central Square Farmers Market is still open every Monday until November 24th. They accept EBT and SNAP accepted. Okay, SNAP is the new name for food stamps. And there's one more. There's one more here. That's Fridays, Harvard Square again. Charles Square Farmers Market, Charles Hotel Courtyard, 1 Bennett Street, noon to 6 p.m. So if you're cooking, you still got opportunities to get some fresh farm produce. Okay. The Road Not Discovered. That's save the date. Saturday, November 15th, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. The University of Massachusetts. From 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. UMass Boston. 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Registration opens at 8:30 p.m. Students pay $30. YNP ULEM. That's the I guess the Young People's Network of the Urban League of Eastern Massachusetts, okay, and member UMass alumni $40, professional $50. That's a location UMass Boston, 1 Morrissey Boulevard, Boston, Massachusetts 02125. Ryan Lounge, McCormick Hall, 3rd floor. That's the Road Not Discovered, the 4th Annual Leadership Development Conference. Save the date again. Once again, that's Saturday, November 15th, 9 a.m. at UMass Boston, okay? Okay, I told you, I promised you we'd get back to the local Native American Heritage Month, okay? So Leslie University's Diversity Council presents Native Science, an evening with author Dr. Gregory Kajit. That's Thursday, November 13th. That's tomorrow, 4 to 5 p.m. University Hall Amphitheater, 2nd floor, 1815 Massachusetts Avenue, Cambridge. In honor of Native American Heritage Month, Dr. Gregory Geese, Native American educator and author of Native Science, Natural Laws of Interdependence, as he explains the level of meaning that inform Native astronomy, cosmology, psychology, agriculture, and healing arts. Gain insight into the perspective of indigenous peoples whose ability to live in harmony with the land could steer us towards much needed solutions in an age of environmental crisis. The lecture will be followed by a book signing at 5 p.m. So for more information, you can go to the website, leslie.edu/CAJETE. The event is free and open to the public. That's Native Science, sponsored by Leslie University's Diversity Council. An evening with author Dr. Gregory Kajit in honor of Native American Heritage Month. So you make sure you get on out to that one, okay? Another thing, tonight, 7 o'clock, I know some of you have heard of Cambridge Forum, their fall 2014 program. They're still having events. They're still running events as part of their fall 2014 program schedule. That's a Cambridge Forum, and tonight they have an event entitled Back to the Past, Putin, Russia. Russian-American journalist, author, and lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender activist Masha Gassin voluntarily left Russia last year when tightening anti-gay and lesbian policies threatened her family. Her account of Vladimir Putin rises to power and its devastating impact on the nascent democratic government of Russia. The man without a face, the unlikely rise of Vladimir Putin, opened a window to change culture of Russia as well as the nature of its powerful and enigmatic leader. Her newest book, Words Will Break, cement the passion of Pussy Riot, recounts the arrest, trial, and imprisonment of Pussy Riot. What two Gassens experience and insight tells us about Russia today. How might this new understanding change America's international policy? So that's tonight. Back to the Path. Putin's Russia at 3 Church Street, Cambridge, the First Parish in Cambridge Unitary Universalist Church. So you join them. That's tonight, 7 p.m. All programs are free and open to the public. That's part of the Cambridge Forum series, okay? I promise you I'd get back to, let's see. Let me catch up with myself, trying to move too fast. The 2014 summit at Harvard, okay? Okay. Okay, well, anyway, that was, that opening video was a video which depicted, it was just a summation of the whole weekend of events that transpired with this annual Human Service Summit that's held at Harvard University every year. So some of the topics that was covered in this summit was human service convergence. We already talked about that. That means putting it all together, top down or bottoms up. First, no-touch human service solutions, high value, no-touch human service solutions. There's an app for that. Analytic Pulse Survey, funding human service analytic skills. Is hiring for human service analytic too costly? The case for integration, the right thing, done right. Is human service analytics your outcome answer? Can the ACC power integrate service delivery? What's behind successful human service solution? Will disruptions disrupt human service IT? Have a love-hate relationship with human service IT. Where do new ideas come from? Better outcomes for children and families. Set the pace of change, transforming human services. Seize the moment. Link health and human service delivery. Blaze the trail. New ideas of human service outcomes. Hit the ground running. Outcomes and impact. Human service IT's top SOA insights. Mobile human service solutions are no gimmicks. So those were some of the titles of the workshops and other offerings at that weekend event. And each of those titles I just read, there's a video that goes along with that. So right now, we're on the summary video of the 2014 Human Service that opened the program, and I guess we're going to close the program. But and that was entitled Human Service Convergence. Okay, that was related to the theme of the event. But eventually, we're gonna try to get each of these videos on for you in the weeks to come to give you a broader perspective of what the human service mosaic is all about, especially here in Eastern Massachusetts and New England, Boston, Cambridge, and points beyond if time permits in the weeks to come. Okay, I think that's just about it. 25 minutes don't last long, so I know that, and I know you're aware of it too. But before I leave, I like to remind you that you should keep your nose clean, play it straight to be successful, and don't forget to assist someone in need of your help. And don't forget now, there are homeless people out here in Cambridge in need of your help, and those are the Spirit Change vendors. They're out there now. It's getting cold, and they can use every dime that you bring their way for Spirit Change newspaper. So right now I don't have the latest issue. I would show you the cover, what the cover looks like, but I don't have the latest issue, and I think it comes out tomorrow. But until next time, I leave you with the ancient universal greetings of peace and goodwill, and that is peace, the universal cordial of goodwill, and that is peace. I'm Hassan Rashid. Until next time it's the history, community life and diversity of Muslim Americans in New England. So we'll get back to the video. We'll give you a few more minutes of it. That's 18 minutes long, the summary. So we'll be playing that in our upcoming upcoming episodes. Don't forget now the member appreciation party, appreciation party is coming up tomorrow, 6:30, 8:30 p.m. And I think that's at the Middle East Club. For more information, you can go to 617-401-400 and find out. Until next time, I leave you with once again with the greetings of peace.
York shower of facts. They lie unquestioned, uncombined. Wisdom enough to leach us from our ill is daily spun, but there exists no loom to weave it into fabric. I love that quote, and I think that the loom really exists in this room. I just rhymed. There are two critical elements, I think, to a real successful transformation. One is timing. You know, we've always heard that timing is everything. Well, maybe for not all of the right reasons, I think our timing is good. We have these convergence of forces, a financial crisis, increased demand for services, a savvy customer base that's internet wired. I mean, it's, you know, they're not expecting to go and stand in lines anymore to get